In the most recent look that we got of Breath of the Wild 2, we see something very interesting. In the few seconds that we see this glowing orb, and I talked about this briefly in one of my previous videos on how I think this could most likely be the Triforce, and I still think that to be true. But today, however, I want to discuss what is the Triforce's purpose? What is the purpose of the Triforce in Breath of the Wild 2? Why might we need the Triforce this time around, and how might we end up gathering the pieces of the Triforce in this game? So let's dive into this Breath of the Wild 2 theory right now. So in the new few second look that we got of Breath of the Wild 2 back in March, we see many things, and one of these things is this glowing yellow light radiating from Link's hand, as well as this glowing yellow beam or orb, I guess you could say, in front of Link. And I feel that this yellow light has to be the Triforce. I discussed this a few weeks ago on how the broken Master Sword that is being held in front of the Triforce in that new look could be Fi leading Link to the Triforce to restore the Master Sword. I don't feel, however, that this is going to be a straightforward quest to just go to the Triforce and restore the Master Sword right away, like in the first 30 minutes or hour of the game. I feel it's going to be a little bit more complicated than that. This is what I theorize. I think that in the first part of Breath of the Wild 2, our journey will be to go and find these pieces of the Triforce, both hidden within the land and the Sky Islands. I feel that we will have to travel between the land and the sky and find the pieces of the Triforce, kind of like we did in Wind Waker, where we had to travel across the seas of Hyrule and find all the pieces of the Triforce. I feel that this could be a big part of Breath of the Wild 2, maybe even the majority of the main quest. We could get little side quests though that could slowly point us towards each piece of the Triforce, like receiving hints from NPCs around Hyrule. But these pieces of the Triforce could be hidden in dungeons both in the sky and on the land, and we would have to traverse to the sky and land to get each piece until we ultimately have them to use them. Now, why might we need to gather the pieces of the Triforce? I feel that this could be for a few reasons. First off, I think we need to find the pieces of the Triforce because if Zelda has either died or gotten kidnapped by Ganondorf and is in Hyrule Castle that's floating in the sky now, we have no way to get to it. So we might need to use the Triforce to help us reach Hyrule Castle by gaining the full power of the Triforce and praying to the gods or something of that nature to give us a path to Hyrule Castle. But we could also use this power to revive Zelda if she has died and took a giant fall. Secondly though, I feel that we could need to gather the pieces of the Triforce to maybe weaken Ganondorf and to actually be able to defeat him. Maybe with the Triforce's help, we could weaken Ganondorf and then defeat him by praying to the gods. Kind of like the king did in Wind Waker, where he touches the Triforce and prays to the gods to give Link and Zelda a future. Maybe it'll be something similar to that. So, what do you guys think of this theory? Do you think that we will have to collect pieces of the Triforce throughout Breath of the Wild 2, just like we did in Wind Waker? And additionally, do you feel that we will have to use the Triforce in this game to aid us in our fight against Ganondorf and beat the King of Evil? Or do you think that we will have to use the Triforce to reach Zelda, like save Zelda and revive her, or even reach Hyrule Castle? Or is there a reason on this list that I didn't mention that you think we might have to use the Triforce for? Let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are on this and why you think we might have to use the Triforce in Breath of the Wild 2. Also, if you haven't already, please smash that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. Turn on that bell to be notified when I upload new Zelda content every single Friday. Thank you all so much for watching today's Zelda theory. I'll see you all next Friday in a brand new Zelda video here on the Zelda Corner.